So we've been laying some foundation, and now we get to have dessert. And we got our Linux box up and running in the cloud, and we're going to put Go on it and serve a web app, and we're going to do it in these steps right here. And if you're just finding this video online, you're so dang lucky. And just kidding.
So basically, we created an operating system up there.
Yeah, we created a computer, a server. So now we're going to do all that right here and get Go running on our computer up there. And if you just found this video, you can find the other videos, Todd McLeod, YouTube, and then you could also, that's pretty much it. Oh, the other thing to point out is the GitHub repo, which is right here. GitHub goes to 11, Golang training 67, and that has all the instructions for you. All right.
Now, you paid for this?
Yeah, it's costing me a little bit, 6 cents an hour, 20 cents an hour or something.
How much space are you left?
So you can look at DigitalOcean, and I'm just going to launch a different browser to do that so we could see the choices. DigitalOcean. So, well, just flew pricing. Here we go. There's some of the prices for what you could buy. $40 a month. Like what's a computer at Costco cost you? Well, let's keep that tab up. Costco.
300
computers. Desktop towers. $900 for 4 gigs. 32 gigabytes of RAM. I'm looking for the hard drive. 1 terabyte SATA hard drive, not solid state. Yeah. And so 32 gigs of RAM right here, and 320. So 320 a month, but you know this one's, it's like pay for that in 3 months, but you have to have it connected for bandwidth. 7 terabytes of transfer. Anyhow, it's business. So now let's get Go going, and so I'm going to bring back up here and SSH Todd at 45, 55, 28, 153, and I'm logged into my remote computer, secure shell. Let me bring these instructions over. Are you guys still interested in this?
Mm-hmm.
Carson? Yeah, okay. Patrick didn't seem to be resonating with him or something. All right, so now we have if you have Go 1.5 or newer, you can cross-compile most programs and transfer the executable. So that's just something that's good to know about. No nap today. Please come home right after class for an early dinner. Will do.
Cross-compile.
So let me show you. So if I go here and just type in Go, I get all the different commands for the Go command. And so I could do, I have this thing environment right here. Well, first of all, there's Go help build. And I could read about build. So build is for building my executable. So we have Go run, main.go or whatever, right? And we have Go install. And we also have Go build. And so Go build compiles the packages named by the import pass along with their dependencies, but it does not install the results. So I'm compiling my program down into binary. That binary has to run on a certain architecture, right? So it could be Linux, could be, you know, or a certain operating system and certain architecture. And so one of the other Go commands is environment. So Go help environment. And I could set here Go OS. I could set the operating system. I could say, hey, it's Linux. And I could also say Go Arc for architecture. It's AMD 64, 64-bit processor. So AMD 64 is like the 64-bit processor. This is the 32-bit processor. This one is mobile devices. And this one is, I don't know what. Anybody know? Right? So, so I could set that. And we're going to see how to do that in a second. But I could potentially just build my binary on my machine here and say it's Linux at 64-bit, and then take that binary and put it up on my remote machine and say run it. But instead, I'm going to build on my remote machine. And so building on your remote machine is good in the sense of, like, if you have any like stuff like C and you're connecting to doing stuff with C, it's really hard to cross-compile. This is called cross-compilation. And I'm compiling here and then putting it somewhere else to run somewhere else. And pretty sure that's what cross-compilation means.
So by building it on Linux OS, is it going to be different than
if I just built it here?
Yeah. Because it was built.
Well, it won't be any different, I don't think. Yeah. But I won't have to worry about, it's just going to build for that system. I won't have to worry about setting variables. Cross-compiler is a compiler capable of creating executable code for a platform other than the one on which the compiler is running, right? So, all right, so let's, that's just a heads up, FYI, right here. That's what all this is. Some packages still require native Go installed to build, though. So download Go. So on our computer, our remote machine, we are going to use wget and go get the URL. And here's the URL for Go on the Linux machine. Where did I get that? Golang download. To get the current one. And for Linux, it's right here. So I can just copy that. Ugh. Cancel. Copy, link, address. And look at it, right? That's it. And let's see if that's the same as my notes. So we'll just do that one. So we'll do wget and the URL. And it's 1.5.1 Linux AMD 64 tar GZ. So it's downloading that. And now extract Go from the archive file. So X is for extract, Z is for giz, and F is for file, XZF, those are those commands. What's the difference between tar and GZ, those extensions? You curious?
Tar is something archived. I don't know. GZ is gzip, I think.
Tar puts multiple files into a single tar file. GZ compresses one file only. All right, so tar puts a whole bunch of files into one file, and then gzip compresses it. So tar giz, tar giz. What's it called? How do you say it? Anyhow. So now I'm going to do ls, and there's my file. I just brought it down right there, and so I could do tar x zf go, and that's going to open it up, uncompress it, extract a gzip file, giz file, and now we're going to ls. We can look what's there, and we've got go, and we have go that tar gz, so I can just remove the go tar gz. I don't need that anymore, and there's just my go now. And then sudo, I'm going to move Go, and I'm going to put it at user local go, and my password. And so that's been moved. It's no longer there. And now I'm going to sudo change the owner from root or to root user local go. And so that's changing the owner, the owner and the group, right? Root. So let's just see who owns it now first before we do that. So I'm going to change directories to user local go ls-la, and so let me come up one folder, ls-la, and so go is owned by Todd, right? and group Todd. I'm going to change that to root. I don't need to have access. I don't want other people. I don't want anybody, who comes in as me to have access to it. So sudo change mod 755 user local go. So I went from read, write, execute, read, execute, read, execute to read, write, execute, read, execute, read, execute. Exactly the same thing. I guess that didn't do anything. And now that was that one, and then go back to our workspace, change directory, and I'm going to do make dir go workspace, and then this is a command that allows me to create multiple folders all at once. And so if I look, I now have Go Workspace. If I change into that and look, I got bin, package, and source folders. So that's my Go Workspace. And that command right there creates Go Workspace, and then within that, it creates bin, package, source. So you obviously saw it works. And now we're going to do sudo nano my profile to edit environment variables. Right now, if I type Go, I don't get anything, right? So the Go command, if Go is installed, should bring something up. But if I was to go to and look at my bin, I have Go, and if I run Go here, right, ran that Go command, right, ran that executable. So for that executable to run, I need to set a path variable for that to run from anywhere. I can't just here go like that. It's like, sorry, there's nothing there. I'd have to put in the full path, right? What happens if I do that? That ran it. So I'd have to put in the full path for it to run. But I could set a path variable too, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do sudo nano etc. profile, and then we're going to, and we can see here, this gets loaded, profile gets loaded for everybody. I guess when the computer starts, so we could set environment variables and things like that in here. I always did it in bash RC, but Daniel, or bash profile, but Daniel did it here, so I'll just do it here. So my path variable, I'm going to append all of my current path variables. So my new path variable is equal to what the old path variable was. That's what that says. And I'm adding user local go bin, right? And so I'm going to hit enter, and then save that. See you, Carson. And now when I do go, I got to restart it, I guess. How do I restart? Restart. Restart is currently not installed. I could exit, and then SSH Todd at 4555 28 153. And now, does it work? Now it worked. Cool.
Yeah.
I had to restart my terminal to do that on the remote server. So now I could change directories, make sure I'm in my root, and go nano my profile. So I'm in my root, and if I do lsla, I have a profile folder right there, or file. And so I can nano.profile. And in this profile file, I want to do this export right here. So I'm going to add comment. It's for Go programming, and I'm going to do my Go path. is equal to $home, and my workspace name is Go Workspace. Okay. $home is just my home directory. Does that make sense or no?
Yeah, so the command there, export, you're just doing it with the text editor instead.
Oh, I forgot to put in export.
Well, I'm just.
I need
wondering,
export
the
there.
Export, you're adding. Is that a command you can do directly from the command line, and you just don't have to open up the text editor?
Yeah, but this will automatically run this every time the computer starts or the shell starts, so it'll add it each time. Does that make sense?
Well, I'm just.
Yeah, but you could just do it from the terminal each time.
No, what I'm asking is when he says add export and he has that command, is that basically, or has he opened the text editor?
Yeah, Nano profile, open the text
Okay,
editor.
So why is he saying export and you're not, or you did now?
Yeah, why export it in there?
I don't know. I guess it's the commands. I don't.
Yeah, it's
syntax.
Linux. Your Windows. So, like, you know, in my computer, you know, I have my bash rc, right? So nano.bash rc. And then I have my Go programming, and I just have, I have the same thing, export my path variables. So same deal.
So that puts it in every time, each time you start.
Yeah. All right, so home, Go Workspace, and then I'm going to do export path equal $home and Go Workspace bin, and then I'm just going to add my path back in. Cool. Control exit, Control X, yes. And delete the archive file, I already did that. All right, so now I should be able to exit this again and then reconnect and go env. And there's my go path. And there's my go root. And then I should be able to do env. And here's my path variable. So there is user local go bin, so the go command works. And then here is the path I set for home Todd Go Workspace bin, so that anything I compile on this machine and install is in my binary folder of my workspace, and that will just run by typing in the name of the executable. I'll go down that path and look for it. So cool. That's all running. Anything else to see about that? So now we need to install Git, and if I type in Git right now, it's like nothing there. So let's do sudo apt get install Git and password 123 and continue. So I just got Git and allow HTTP through the firewall. Sudo uncomplicated firewall allow HTTP. I could have also done 80 TCP. So I just did that, and I could do, what is it, sudo UFW status. And it shows you what's allowed. It's port 22 and port 80. Uncomplicated firewall. And I want to change this one. Swap file. I want to change this one where right here.
Why 2 ports?
I'm going to move these over one. There we go. 22 is for TCP SSH. So secure shell connection goes through there. And 80 is for HTTP requests. All right, so then the next deal is we just did that. And now we're going to also allow sudo uncomplicated firewall allow HTTPS. And if we do the status again, we can see now we got 443. And so firewall is just a brick wall. And you could say, okay, I'm going to open up one port, 22. Data could come through there. Open up another port, 80. Data could come through there. Open up another port, 443. Data could come through there. I don't quite understand how that makes it more secure. Everybody knows those ports are open if you're a web server.
What's the 443 going to be for?
But it makes it more secure that the other ones aren't open, whatever the hell they are. 443 is for HTTPS. So now we're going to...
What's the difference between TCP and HTTP?
TCP is like the layer beneath HTTP. And HTTP uses port 80, but I think port 80 is a TCP port. I think that's all TCP level, the ports.
So the TCP is going through in order to set up the conditions so you can run HTTP.
Yeah. Yeah. You know how we listen on port 80 or whatever.
Yeah.
So now it's all a bit of mythology. I just take it all on faith. Okay, they say that's the way it works. So now we're going to do HAProxy, high availability proxy, and that's a load balancer. And so we're just introducing a level of protection for requests coming in, because right now requests coming in, Go is running as root, but in order, like we ran Go without high availability proxy, and I've 89% certainty I'm saying this right, but I might be getting some things wrong. But if we run the Go server, it needs to run at root, right? But if we do high availability proxy, it's a piece of software which can run and listen on those ports, and it does like jail blocking or something like that, where only things you could only have access to a limited area. And so it comes into the high availability proxy. It's a load balancer, so we could then say go to different servers, and then we could direct it to other places in our computer. I don't totally understand it, but hey, HAProxy wiki.
Well, we're only using the one server.
Open source software provides high available load balancer and proxy server for TCP HTTP based applications that spreads requests across multiple servers. Written in C, it's fast and efficient.
Is this balancing on the server or balancing on your client where you're working with your computer at home?
This is a server.
It's the server.
Yeah.
You only have the one server, so what's it balancing between?
Yeah, right, exactly. But it does something else too, because it's a balancer and also a proxy server. So a proxy server, right, just is a level of abstraction between the request coming in and Go. So I didn't quite understand it, but it gives us a level of security. So I'm going to set it up. Install HAProxy, install it, and configure it. So I need to sudo nano etc. HAProxy config. And so now add this to the default section. So here are my defaults. So here I want to add option, read dispatch, and retries 3. And I'll add the following block to the end of the file. So it's going to listen on things coming from any IP address and listen on our port 80. And it's going to be HTTP. And it's going to keep the connection alive for 3 seconds for serving images and things like that. And it's going to serve from localhost port 9000. So we could run, so now it's directing any requests that come in to Go, which will be listening on localhost 9000. And I don't know what the check does. Like I said, I don't know anything about that. And here's more information right there at that link. So cool, we're going to close that. Yes. And now we want to reload that. and get your code onto the server. So we want to get our code onto the server, so we could do that with, on a Unix machine, we could do a secure copy, our source and our destination, and add RP if it's a folder you are transferring. So secure copy, RP, source, destination. The format for remote connections is username and IP address. Secure copy, RP, like my desktop stuff, and this. And so I'm going to do, where am I at? I am at, so let me just do this. Here, change directories, and I'm going to documents, go, source, GitHub, goes to 11, Golang training 67, and there we go. And I'm just going to do secure copy dash RP, and well, let me go up one level. All right, secure copy dash RP, and it's going to be 67, and it's going to be Todd at, and my IP is, and I don't think my server's running, is it? Yeah, it's active, cool. Todd at that, so that'll authenticate me. And then, here we go. And then I need to say where do I want it. And I'm just going to do, what folder would I want it? Code, whoops. I want it in, I don't know, example. Let's see if I got that right. So I need root for an example. Cool, so now it's copying all those files over to my server. Whoa, totally cool. Just copied all those files to my server. And now I'm going to come back in here and I can look. I now have example, change into example, and I have all those folders. So those folders are these folders right here. I just copied over from my local machine. All right. And now, so it's that. Make sure it's built whether on your system or on the server directly. So on your server, right, I could change directories now into O1. And I have test server go, so go build test server.go. I think that's go run. Let's just run it. Go run test server.go. So now it's running, and I need to configure systemd. But anyhow, now that that's running, I could go to my IP address on the web. Isn't that cool? And I could even do like, you know, what's Control C, and I could do nano test server, and I could change that to and then exit, yes, and then I could do go run again. Yeah, it's not like App Engine where it updates automatically. You gotta restart it.
You have to actually run it again.
Yeah. So that was that. And then this last part here is so that right now it only is active when this is active. What does that mean? So like if I close this window, terminate, that is now spinning. Right, and it's no longer active. So how do I keep it active? I need to SSH Todd at whatever my IP address is. Is it still in there? There we go. So I'm connected again, and I could look, and I could go change directory into example, and then O1 go run test, and now that will be back up. There we go. And now I need to configure my systemd. And to do that, I do this stuff. and then I could close my terminal and it'd keep running. But I think that's pretty easy to follow, and that's what that last bit does, so I'm not going to show that. All right,